Hello everybody, welcome to a new day. I did a lot of the electrical work yesterday. See the wires? And so I need to remove this wall today. I think I said that yesterday that I was going to remove it, but I'm actually going to remove it today. Yeah, let me show y'all this wall. So there's a header here, but it doesn't really, there's a header here, but it doesn't really do anything. And then there's also headers here, up there, that are supported by not this one here, but there's another stud back there. And then there's studs here and back in the back for that other header. So what I think I'm going to do is cut down the door, move one of the studs over for extra support on this end, just because I'm not too sure how that header is supported on this end. But a lot of this doesn't even look like it's supporting anything. It's just the ends of the original header, which I'm curious why there's original header in the first place. Let me know if you have any ideas on why that header is there. This was an add-on, this room here. We could tell that this room was added on just from going into the attic and seeing how it was built. It's like there's old roofing shingles and they like barely cut a hole to get through, and then they just connected everything. And then this roof, actually, there's a double roof line here. And so this roof sits on this, and then that roof ends on this as well, which is really interesting. So I gotta make sure it's supported and don't hurt anyone. Yeah, so pray for me that this goes well. Alrighty, let's get into it. Brother.
The way that you leave me, keep me in your headspace. And creeping in the night, keeping me in the back lane. Hate it when you leave, when you're taking my time. Leave me alone for the rest of the night. Some of the things they have the upper hand in my mind. Running me around thinking that you're mine.
Let's take a little bit closer look at this framing. It was really confusing getting into this. I wasn't expecting to find this. And just so you know, I'm not a professional roofer or framer. I just have learned from the internet and doing some stuff. So let's start off here. We have 4 boards. The second one I think is for the roof ease. But the first one here on the left is a board. It only goes partially down the wall. But these other 2, we have a board that doesn't go all the way to the framing on the wall, and then there's another board that goes all the way across. So that is really confusing. Here's a little bit different view that you can see that it looks just janky. There's a random board, a couple supports, and then if you look in the header, there's no support between the actual header and the top plates. And if you can tell, I'm not sure if you can, but these studs, these 2x6s, aren't carrying any load. Like, only the board on the far right is sitting on the studs, and so the load is only transferred from that to the studs at that part, nothing else. So I was pretty confident that I could remove these and then set up additional support for the actual headers in this. So my plan was to support the 2 boards on the right with additional 2x4s. And so that's what I did. I got a 2x4 and put it in the spot. Had a little, use a hammer to shove it in there. And then I grabbed another 2x4. I turned it a different way to support the board on the far end. And now all this stuff is nailed together. So this might not be the best way to do it, but it is supporting it. And I probably didn't even need it because the 2 supports are already supported by a stud on the wall. But anyways, I'm continuing on cutting the boards out, and as I cut these, they were just super loose, no weight on them. The only weight that had a little bit on it was this one closest to the door, but even cutting that was super easy, and the weight that was on that was then transferred to the new studs. And as you can see here, it's just super loose. There's no weight or anything on it, which is super crazy to me because it was pointless to build it this way if you're not going to even have it for support. So
It's hard to find, understand how it feels just the one time. Always put me down when you have a finger. Always put me down when you have a finger pointed at me. Why you lie to me? I don't know.
To wide open spaces.
If you can tell from this shot, those two 2x4s that I added to the end right there to give the additional support, they are now supporting the two boards on the right side, one of them that goes from end to end fully, and then one of them that goes almost end to end, but now goes end to end because it's sitting on the 2x4. And then I just put that other one to support the little board on the left side that's nailed in to the header. So that should give additional support if it is necessary. I'm not even sure if it was necessary to do that, but now that little column is squared off and it'll be easier to sheetrock. So one last really important note here. If you are dealing with framing, removing walls, structure, you're going to want to make sure you're careful because removing a wall could cause real damage to your home and to your well-being. So don't remove a wall if you feel uncomfortable, if you haven't checked to see if it's a load-bearing wall. And if it is a load-bearing wall, you need to support it before removing the walls. Now, for my special case, it is possible that I did this super wrong and I could have caused real damage. But I was really confident that the existing roof was supported even if I had removed these studs. It was a small space, about 6 feet, and since the header was 3.5 feet for the door and wasn't even supporting the existing roof at all, or maybe 10% of what a stud should support. If I removed it, it wouldn't have done anything. And so I was really confident in that, as well as seeing the other studs not support the header. The way that the wall was framed was already like it wasn't supporting the roof at all, which is really interesting. So I was confident in that. I was also confident in putting those extra 2x4s into the framing to support those two boards at the end that were actually doing some work and knew that it would hold. And so removing the three other studs, I guess, wasn't that big of a deal to me. And now I've never done this before, and I was planning on supporting the other walls in the roof by adding some structure to the sides before cutting it down, but decided not to do it just because of the circumstances I explained to you. If that doesn't make sense, sorry. Let me know in the comments and I can try to help you. But like I said, just make sure you do this safely. Reach out to someone if you need help, and don't just go cutting walls down because that's really bad and really dangerous. So with that, I do hope this video is helpful to you. Give me a subscribe. Click on the link to continue with the bathroom renovation. I think next we'll be doing the floors, and then we'll continue on. There's some fun stuff, fun builds in this bathroom renovation, and I will see you in the next videos. See you later, and I'll see you out there. Bye bye.